welcome back to my channel. So I'm gonna be telling you a story of how Milo was a blessing in disguise, and then along came Percy. So right now I have two dogs. Milo is my biggest boy. He will be one at the end of the month of this month. Percy, he's my baby. He just turned 6 months. Um, so coming here to China was not getting no animal because I was like, oh, I'm gonna be here for a year. I'm not getting no rabbit, no dog, no cat, no pig, no all that stuff, no nothing. I was like, I don't have time. I'm gonna be working. I don't have time. And that was what I was living, like saying in the back of my head, like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm not like no animal, no nothing. I don't know how to get them back. I don't want to leave them either. Like no. And it didn't start like occurring to me until December. In the beginning of December, like no, so it's actually in the end of December. In the end of December, that's when it started forming a thought. You know, like how they form a thought in the back of your head. But in the beginning of December, of last year, I have left my job. The job that I went to was going to in August of last year. I left that job, and when you leave that job before 6 months, you have a reimbursement fee that they take out. So they took out a huge chunk of that. Yeah, and it was basically from like the flight, the visa, all that stuff that they had paid for. But yeah, once 6 months is over, like before, if you like stay with them for 6 months and then you left, you didn't have to pay for it. But I left before 6 months because I couldn't take it. And so I did not have a job lined up. Very stupid of me. I I had rent to pay for, so when they took that big chunk out, I didn't know how I was gonna get my rent money. Then I was asking my friend like, "Hey, put me in this job group thing that's And then I was like, "Help me out, like help me find some jobs," because I was like, I'm not new here in China. I'm new here in China. I haven't been here like for years. She's been here for 5 years, so she was helping me out. During the process of me finding a job, I got scammed by an agent. So I was broke, had no job, had rent next month, very little food. I still had to owe my friend money, and I was in a foreign country. And I did not want to tell my family this because I was like, I didn't want them to like see or feel pity on me or anything. So I was like, you know what, whatever. So I was living through like trying to figure out like how am I gonna get paid or how am I gonna get a job and everything. I was really sad and crying, and I was like, my stupid self was like, why didn't I have a job lined up if I'm gonna quit this job? It didn't hit me until like December 25th. Oh, when Christmas was. Christmas. I saw my family, and they was having a fun time. They had like good food. Like on Christmas, we do seafood. Like we do seafood, and then we do like the traditional good food. You know, turkey, ham, all that, mac and cheese, collard greens. But I like the seafood. I saw that, and I saw how they was having fun and everything. It just hit me. I was like, I'm alone on Christmas. I was like, I'm so depressed. I just wanted to cry. I was like, I hate being an adult. I hate paying for stuff. I hate this. I hate this. I was like, ah! So, then I ended up finding a job on the 27th. Best job ever. I love it. I've been with them for a year now. So when the virus happened and everything, people saying be safe. January to February, everything got shut down, locked down. And I felt so depressed more, and I was getting depressed more and more. But when they did that lockdown, I was like, I'm depressed now. I'm just sad. There was times when I wanted to end myself because I was like, I'm in another foreign country. I was like, what if something happened? I'm like, I have nowhere to go. I don't speak Chinese. I was like, I don't have my family with me. I was like, this virus is like really making me sad. And I was bored too. And I was like, I remember I used to talk to myself and laugh at my jokes because I was so bored. I was like, oh, I need somebody to talk to. So I was with friends and everything. But, yeah, it was good and all. But it was just sad because when you go home, you're alone, okay, and you don't have your friends with you. Like I remember we stayed at one of my friends' house. It was just me and these three other girls, and we was like we are really close. We stayed at her house for a day, which we thought was a day, but it ended up being like 3 or 4 days because we don't like this virus. It was just too much, and like yes, it was crying, it was sad, and it was like we don't know what to do because like this never happened. And yeah, but it was until Susan, this one lady named Susan, who volunteers at this shelter. She was posting that animals need to be adopted and fostered. And it was this one dog, and I was like, oh, this is cute, and I think her name was Toffee. And I was gonna get her, but then someone else got her. And now I told Susan, I said, I'm looking for a dog. And then I was telling her in my situation, I was like, I need somebody with me, because I was like, I need somebody that I can talk to and love and all that stuff. And it wasn't until she gave me Milo's, because she gave me some other dogs, but I was like, oh, but I was too slow at responding. But then Milo later came, and they was born in January, but they wasn't ready until March. And so I was like, ooh, and as soon as I looked at Milo, a picture of them being the puppies and them holding them, I was like, I want that dog right there. We met up at this one place, and I was like, they're out. When I looked at these kids, these puppies, they was like sleeping, and I was like looking around, I was like, there he is. And when I was showing my family the picture, they were like, yeah, this is the dog I'm gonna get. And they was like, what you gonna name? I was like, I don't know. It wasn't my sister. My sister, she named him Milo. She gave me the name Milo. And then I came up with the middle name Reed, and then he got my last name. So yeah, when after like we signed the form and all that stuff, I got Milo. They was like, which one you want? And I was looking around, I'm like, there he is, and I got him. The moment I hold him, I realized and I knew he was my sunshine, my light, and I was like, you are my purpose and my light, basically blessed in disguise. And I was like, oh my God, just holding him. I was like, it just feels so warm and everything. I was like, oh, and it just made me so warm inside. And I was like, it just lifted lifted a weight off my shoulders. And the moment we got back home, people were saying, my dog is asleep. My dog, he's asleep, knocked out. Because, they were still a puppy. I was like, really? My dog is running around the house. He's running around. Like, he won't go to bed. And I was like, Milo, come on, go to sleep, go to sleep. And he was like, he looked at me, he ran around. I was like, yeah, he got that energetic stuff. And yes, he just helped me through a lot of stuff. Like, when I was down, I hugged him, and he just like, he was there for me. Yes, he's a mama's boy. Like, yes, he's attached to me. Like right now, he's laying right on the floor, beside my bed. But if I go to the bathroom, he follows me. If I go somewhere, he follows me. He has to, and then he has to lay in the bed. Like I remember, I had his bed next to me, it was like the little pink little fluffy bed. He would cry like, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then so I pick him up, put him and lay him by me, like this dog. I was like, this dog. And then I put him down sometimes, then pick him up, wake me up at 5 a.m. Like I'm hungry. But this is like when I got him. But I would call my mom. I was like, Mom, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing this. And she started laughing. She's like, this is what you get. She's like, this is what you did to me. And she's like, whatever you did to me when you was little, Milo's doing it with you. And I was like, he's not my child. Like, I didn't birth him out physically. I was like, I adopted him. And she's like, doesn't matter. And I was like, you and God got a sense of humor that I am not ready to deal with. But Milo, in the end, he is amazing. Like, even though he scratched up my walls from my last apartment and this apartment, I still love him. Or like when he run around with poop on his butt, yeah, I still love him. Or when you want to rip up pee-pee pads, yes, I still love you. But we ended up going back online. I mean, back physically teaching in the summertime, and I was like, Milo needs somebody with him because I was like, I know that he's gonna be feeling sad, And he wasn't sad when I left because I trained him. So it wasn't until October, I think, yeah, I think so, when I saw another post from Susan, and she was like, I need y'all help. We need to foster these or adapt these puppies. In the winter they can't survive. It's too harsh for them in the shelter. And I was looking, I was like, I got a new apartment. It's big enough. I was like, yep, this is what Milo need. So I was like, yeah, we'll get one. We'll foster one. She's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. I was like, yes. I'm like, I love animals. I'm like, yes, go ahead. So I got Percy. And I was looking at a name for him because it's either Percy or Quincy. But I ended up naming him Percy. And when I got Percy, he was so calm and so like gentle and everything. He was shaking a little. He has this little shaking thing, but he stopped. He does his shakes like less and less now. But yeah, and I was like, this is perfect. I said, I got a hyper energetic dog that can, and then I got a small, calm, cool dog that can make Milo calm down. And when Percy came in, I was like, Percy, you can have Milo's little small pink bear. And I was like, here's some toys that Milo don't use no more. And Milo was like, I'm taking these toys. What's? I was like, you don't even use them. I was like, get them out your mouth, see? And he would take it and then he would drop it. I was like, see, you don't use it. So I was giving it to Percy because I was like, you're still a puppy. And Percy didn't have that. His teeth was falling out anyway because he had like, his baby teeth were falling. So he was getting his like adult teeth. So I was like, oh, you look gummy. Call him gummy. But I was calling him waddle butt too because when Percy walks, he waddle his butt and everything. I was like, you waddle. I said, you waddle butt. And yeah, there's a nickname. I call Milo Fluff Butt because Milo has so much fur. But yeah, then the next day, Percy got used to it. He jumped on Milo's bed. He was like, this is my bed now. I'm in charge. Or when I give him treats, Percy would take the treats from Milo's mouth and he'd be like, Mama, he did it again. But it was just amazing because I didn't think they would click that fast. I remember when I had Percy pooped. In my bed because I was like, Percy's still like training and all that stuff. But when Percy pooped in my bed, I did spank him. Milo came right back. He was like, barking behind me. I said, what? He was like, I said, now I know that I gotta keep this dog because I was only just fostering Percy, but now I know. I was like, after Milo had defended Percy and was barking like and standing by Percy's side, I was like, yeah, we're adopting Percy. So yeah, Percy and Milo, Milo and Percy. I mean, like, yeah, Percy is a good dog. Like, he became more comfortable around this house and everything to the point like now he lays on his back, wide open legs, wide open. But I think he's doing that because Milo does that too. And then if Milo rips up the pee-pee pad, Percy grabs the pee-pee pad and rips it up. Milo scratching the wall. Percy wants to scratch on the wall. I'm like, you can't be teaching them bad parts. Teach them the good parts of how to pee, or how to fetch or how to sit. Okay? Because I was like, Percy, it took a while for him to like get his name. I was like, this is your name. You are Percy. You are Percy. And everything. But Percy would have his legs wide open. Milo have his legs wide open. They would sleep with each other and all that stuff. And yeah. So in the end, they are a huge blessing in disguise. And they keep me on my toes for sure. Like, but I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't have changed it at all. I love them. They are a huge blessing. And yes, that is my story of how I got Milo and then we got Percy.